to Reviews, and today I'm unboxing something that came all the way from across the pond. This is Heady Mix. This is a book subscription box. It's bi-monthly, except they have one monthly option. So this is a bi-monthly subscription that showcases books from different underrepresented people. That could be people with disabilities, women, people of color, people from the LGBTQ community, and whatnot. So there is a coupon code AUTUMN. I'll put that down below. That gives you a special discount at checkout. I'm going to go through all the different subscriptions and then we'll get in here. There's the Heady Mix, which is their basic subscription. Well, it's the highest end subscription. It's 2 novels and 1 book of short stories for $31.05. I forgot to convert the currency. I'll put it down below. $31.05 Great British pounds. So I'm sorry. Darn it. Then they have the Select Mix, which is 1 novel and 1 book of short stories for 22.46 Great British pounds. Actually, GBP. We're just going to say GBP, not USD from now on. All right, then there's the Light Mix, which is a book of short stories, 1 book of short stories for 13.46 GBP. And then there's the monthly box. So this is the only monthly one. Is 1 novel for 10.80 GBP. We're going to get in here. I'm sorry, I wanted to convert and then I totally forgot. All right, so this did come all the way from the UK. It was wrapped because it had to go through customs and then they'll rewrap it. I didn't know what it was though, and it didn't have anything like that told me where it was from. And I was like, oh, it's that one, I forgot. So I opened it, but I did not look through here. I promise. So here's our card right on the top. It tells us our book. So this is definitely the Heady Mix, 2 novels and 1 book of short stories. It even looks like there's 4 in here, but that's okay. All right, I'm not gonna read this right now. If you're interested in checking out the letter from them, I'll put that in the full review. We're just gonna, unless we need more reference, then we'll look to that. All right, first up is a book by Louise Stern. This is Ismail and his sisters. It lets you see the world through different eyes. Siblings Ismail, Rosie, and Christina are deaf, as are many in their Maya village. The deaf and hearing alike communicate in sign language, formerly a tight-knit community with a simple lifestyle. But when Ismail gets into a fight at the local fiesta and flees the village, leaving Rosie and Christina to fend for themselves, the daily rhythms of village life are disrupted, and all that they trust in comes under threat. So that sounds really good. That looks cool. I've never read anything like that, so that's gonna be good. Then we have Being Greta. So this is by Maxine Sinclair. It says Greta is a young deaf woman in a hearing world. I don't know if they do themes. This may be like a, actually I do. I faintly remember. Let's read the paper. Welcome to Heady Mix's debut collection, Loud Silence. Yes, I do remember this, which brings together writers from the deaf community to showcase their characters, stories, and essays. I chose Loud Silence for 2 reasons. The first was that I realized even as an avid reader, I had never knowingly read any books by someone from the deaf community. I wondered if other hearing people hadn't either. So I wanted, and it's true, like, have you? I haven't. So I wanted to help change that. Secondly, when I began to research for the collection, reading books, short stories, and watching videos, there were recurring and sad themes of isolation and being ignored. However, for every story that focused on isolation, there was another that showed the strength and determination of a community that is perceived to be silent, that is constantly fighting against the stereotypes and barriers that make life more difficult than it needs to be. It occurred to me that the stereotype of silence, frequently attributed to the deaf community, is widely inaccurate and probably insulting. I delve more into why the phrase loud silence was chosen in the introduction to the anthology. All right, I'm not going to read the whole thing because, you know, but that, so it is, I just remember. All right, Greta is a young deaf woman in a hearing world, trying to find happiness despite a controlling boyfriend, Ollie, and a disapproving mother. She drunkenly applies to feature in a television disability arts documentary where her head is turned by the attractive sign language interpreter, Connor. As filming continues, the cracks deepen in her relationship with Ollie. Will she stay with him or succumb to Connor, a man who signs her own language? And should she undergo a cochlear implant to be able to fit in with the world around her? Or should she embrace her deaf identity, follow her heart, and determine her own future? Whichever route she takes, it's not always easy being Greta. So that's cute, and I love this cover. It's so pretty. All right, next we have Loud Silence, Heady Mix, Diverse Stories for Curious Minds. So this is their book of short stories, which I'm guessing comes from different people, like real people, and they're like real, maybe real stories, I'm not sure. You know, just like giving us different perspective, which I think is super cool. I love that idea. It just makes you think differently. You don't think about those things. I was talking to my husband about something, and I was, what were we talking about? And I was like, I didn't even think of that. Like, it wasn't even a thing that I was aware to think of until it's a thing that's your problem. Because it's very hard to be empathetic when you don't understand something. So when you understand it, it's just so much easier to see where someone's coming from. And we can only do that by talking. And that's why people say we have to just talk about stuff. We have to get it out and not make it, you know, like so private and so secret, because then other people never understand. And it can just make life so much easier and more, you know, more community oriented. Let's help each other. Let's be better, right? I'm on board with that. All right, so there's a card in here. That's super cute. So it says, you're the bee's knees. And Merry Christmas. That's cute. There's a little bird card. Oh my gosh. All right. Then there is Books with Balance, Challenges and Future Reading. Oh, it's a book journal. Girl, I'm so excited. I don't have one of these. Unlocking your ticket to new experiences. So in here, it kind of opens it up. You'll have wish list. So you have your wish list. I don't need a wish list because I got so many books on my table waiting to be read. Wherever you go becomes a part of you somehow. I need to decide. Challenge 1. Think of a country that's on your wish list that you've never been to before. Oh, so it's not just a book thing. Oh, and then you read a book that was set there. So that's kind of cool. And then title, book reading. When I finished this book, I felt. So what are you guys reading right now? I finished this book called Remember Me. It was kind of paranormal YA book. Pretty good. Took me a few days, so that tells you something. But I just started The Sound and the Fury. I have not really started. I just pulled it out, like, I'll read this one. I just usually close my eyes and grab a book. So that's what I'm reading right now. But anyway, what are you reading? All right, so then challenge 2, read a book by an author from a different religion than you. Okay. What are the other challenges? I'm actually excited. This sounds fun. Visit your local library and ask the librarian to suggest a book for you to read that changed the way they think about the world. Huh, I like that idea. Read a book written by a woman when she was over 65 years old. Buy and read a book by an author with a disability. What is the injustice that saddens you most in the world? Read a book that focuses on this. That sounds like scary. And then additional notes. And then, oh, I love this right here. A well-read woman is a dangerous creature. I love that. That's cool. Anyway, so that's Heady Mix. I think this is a really cool idea. I can't wait to see what they do in the future. I think it's a neat concept. And I love books, so... And if you know somebody that loves books, this might be a good way to give them books that they wouldn't know about otherwise. Anyway, I will do the conversions down below. I totally forgot. I felt so bad. And I'll also link to Heady Mix as well as my full review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.